I still can't believe you earned another medal, I said as I adjusted my tie. Sophia smiled while fixing her officer's jacket. It wasn't easy. I know. You sound proud. I am proud. She looked at me for a moment. Then tonight, just enjoy the ceremony. I will. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to me too. She kissed my cheek. We should leave before traffic gets worse. Ready when you are. During the drive, I could not stop smiling. This feels special, I said. It is. I've imagined this night for weeks. You always overthink things. I just want to celebrate your success. She looked through the windshield. Just remember that military events have rules. I understand. Please don't make anything awkward. I frowned. Have I ever embarrassed you? No. Then why say that? I just want everything to be perfect. It will be. The military hall was filled with bright lights, polished uniforms, and proud families. This place is incredible, I whispered. It should be. You earned your place here. She nodded. So did everyone else. A volunteer greeted us. Good evening. Good evening, I replied. May I see your invitations? I handed them over. She checked a list. Captain Sophia Carter, welcome. Thank you. She looked at me. Mr. Ethan Carter, front row, seat A12. I smiled. Thank you. Sophia walked toward another group of officers. I'll join you in a minute, she said. I'll find my seat. No problem. I reached the front row. A tall officer was already sitting in seat A12. I checked my invitation again. The number matched. I leaned closer. Excuse me. He looked up with a friendly smile. Yes, I think this is my seat. He laughed softly. Oh, I'm Ethan. I'm Captain Ryan Brooks. It's nice to meet you. You too. I believe seat A12 was assigned to me. Ryan looked uncertain. Sophia asked me to sit here. I blinked. My wife. Yes. I didn't know. I'm sorry. It's all right. I think we should ask her. Of course. I walked toward Sophia. Sophia. She turned. What is it? I think there's been a mistake. What mistake? My seat. What about it? Captain Ryan is sitting there. I know. My invitation says that's my seat. I gave it to Ryan. I stared at her. You gave him my seat? Yes. Why? He deserves it. I struggled to answer. I'm your husband. I know. I was invited. I know. Then why move me? She crossed her arms. Ryan is representing our unit. I don't mind honoring him. Good. But why take my seat? Because it looks better. I lowered my voice. I don't understand. You don't need to. I'd appreciate an explanation. She sighed loudly. Ethan. Yes. Please stop making this difficult. I'm only asking. Sit in the back. The back. Yes. My seat was reserved. So, it matters to me. It shouldn't. People nearby began watching us. I felt every pair of eyes. Sophia. What? This hurts. She answered without hesitation. My comrade is more important tonight. The words struck harder than I expected. Captain Ryan approached us. I'm sorry, he said. I didn't mean to cause trouble. I forced a smile. This isn't your fault. Ryan looked uncomfortable. I can move. Sophia shook her head. No. Ryan hesitated. Are you sure? Absolutely. I stepped back. It's all right. Ryan quietly nodded. I'm sorry. I walked away. Every step felt heavier. Colonel Daniel Harris approached me. Mr. Carter? Yes. I'm Colonel Harris. It's an honor. I noticed some confusion. Nothing serious. Are you certain? I'll be fine. He studied my face. If you need anything, tell one of the staff. Thank you. I found an empty seat near the back. An elderly man beside me smiled warmly. Mind if I sit here? I asked. It's empty. Thank you. I'm Lewis. Ethan. First military ceremony? Yes. You look disappointed. I laughed weakly. Is it that obvious? I've lived long enough to recognize quiet pain. I'm trying not to overreact. What happened? My wife gave my seat away. He nodded slowly. That isn't really about the chair. I know. It's about respect. I swallowed. I keep telling myself there's a reason. Maybe. And maybe I'm missing something. He looked toward the front row. Sometimes love makes us explain what should never need explaining. Before I could answer, a voice echoed through the hall. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Everyone stood. Our honored guest has arrived. The announcer paused dramatically. Please welcome General Victor Hayes. Everyone around me stood straighter as the doors opened. The announcer declared, Please welcome General Victor Hayes. The room exploded with applause. I joined everyone else, clapping politely while watching my father-in-law enter with calm confidence. His uniform was covered with medals. His expression never changed. Sophia hurried toward him. I stayed where I was. She hugged him. I'm so proud of you, Dad. I'm proud of you too. He smiled. You've honored our family. I've tried. His eyes moved across the room. Where is Ethan? I'm here, I answered, walking forward. He nodded briefly. Ethan. Good evening, General. Enjoying yourself? I was. Before I could continue, Sophia leaned closer to him. She lowered her voice, but I still caught enough words. Dad, he questioned the seating. He did. In front of people? I only asked about my assigned seat. I interrupted. Sophia frowned. You made it awkward. I asked politely. You should have stayed quiet. General Hayes looked directly at me. Is that true? I simply wanted to understand. You embarrassed Sophia? I never intended that. He folded his arms. Intentions mean little. I wasn't disrespectful. You challenged her decision. I asked one question. His voice became louder. One question can damage discipline. People nearby turned toward us. I felt dozens of eyes watching. I kept my hands at my sides. General, I said calmly, I only wanted clarification. He stepped closer. You are not an officer. I know. You don't understand military priorities. I respect them. Do you? Yes. Then why question an officer during an official event? I questioned my wife. You question her authority. I took a slow breath. I questioned a seating change. Sophia shook her head. You still don't understand. I understand that my reserved seat disappeared. It wasn't important. It mattered to me. General Hayes raised his voice again. No. The room became silent. What matters is supporting your wife. I have always supported her. Then prove it. I left the seat without causing a scene. You complained. I asked. You argued. I didn't. He stared at me. I expected more. So did I. The words escaped before I could stop them. His eyes hardened. What did you say? I said I expected more. From whom? I expected someone to ask what actually happened. Several guests whispered. General Hayes pointed toward me. A strong husband protects his wife's reputation. I tried. A selfish husband protects his own pride. I'm not selfish. You made tonight about yourself. I never wanted attention. You received it anyway. A few people clapped. The sound echoed through the hall. Each clap felt like another insult. Someone behind me muttered, He's lucky to marry an officer. Another voice answered, He should know his place. I swallowed the anger burning inside me. I wanted to defend myself. Instead, I remained silent. General Hayes nodded. Perhaps silence is the first wise decision you've made tonight. More applause followed. I lowered my eyes for only a second. When I looked up again, Sophia wasn't looking at me. She was smiling beside her father. That hurt more than every word he had spoken. I quietly stepped away. No one tried to stop me. Near the refreshment table, a woman wearing a press badge approached. Mr. Carter? Yes. I'm Emily Ross. It's nice to meet you. I'm a journalist. I guessed. She offered a gentle smile. I saw everything. I forced a small smile. Then you saw me embarrass myself. No. Her answer came immediately. I saw a husband ask a reasonable question. I looked at her carefully. You really think that? I do. I was starting to wonder. You stayed respectful? I tried. Your wife didn't. I sighed. She's under pressure. Pressure explains mistakes. And it doesn't excuse cruelty. I looked toward the front of the hall. They all believed I was wrong. Not everyone. What do you mean? I noticed people looking away. So, people avoid eye contact when they know something unfair is happening. Her words settled deep inside me. Thank you. You don't have to thank me. I do. For what? for reminding me I'm not crazy. She nodded. Truth often stands alone before others recognize it. Before I could answer, Mr. Lewis walked over with 2 glasses of water. There you are. I needed a quiet corner. He handed me 1 glass. Drink. Thanks. He smiled at Emily. You must be the reporter. I am. I'm Lewis. Emily. He turned back to me. How are you holding up? I've been better. I believe that. I don't understand any of this. Mr. Lewis spoke softly. I served for 30 years. I know. I've seen battles destroy cities. I listened carefully. But pride. He paused. Pride destroys families faster than war. I stared into my glass. I keep hoping there's another explanation. There might be. And if there isn't, you'll still have your dignity. It doesn't feel like it. It will. Emily nodded. He's right. I looked around the crowded hall one last time. Music filled the room. People laughed. Officers celebrated. My wife stood proudly beside her father. Not once did she search for me. Not once did she wonder how I felt. I quietly placed the empty glass on the table. I should go, Mr. Lewis asked. Will anyone leave with you? I managed a faint smile. I came here with the people I trusted. Emily frowned. And now? I think I'm leaving alone. Without waiting for another word, I walked out of the hall, carrying a silence far heavier than anything I had brought inside. I unlocked the front door long after midnight. The house felt strangely cold. I loosened my tie and sat in silence. An hour later, I heard Sophia come inside. She placed her keys on the table. You left early. I did. You could have stayed. I don't think anyone wanted me there. She sighed. You're still upset. I was humiliated. You keep using that word. Because it fits. She removed her jacket. Ethan, you're making this bigger than it was. I lost my seat. It was only a chair. No. What then? It was respect. She looked away. I've explained why Ryan needed it. You explained your decision. Same thing. No. What difference does it make? You never asked how I felt. She folded her arms. Feelings can't always come first. I wasn't asking to come first. What were you asking? To matter. She stayed quiet. I continued. I've stood beside you through every assignment. I know. I moved cities. I know. I gave up promotions. I never forced you. I chose our marriage. And I appreciated that. Did you? She finally met my eyes. My career demands sacrifice. I understand sacrifice. Then understand this. I'm listening. My reputation is part of my duty. What about our marriage? It matters. Less than your reputation? She answered without hesitation. Sometimes. Her words settled like ice inside me. You really believe that? I do. I can't believe you said it. I won't apologize for being honest. I wanted honesty. There it is. I laughed bitterly. I didn't expect it to hurt this much. She picked up her phone. I'm tired. So am I. She walked upstairs without another word. I remained alone. The silence felt louder than our argument. The next morning, I made coffee. Sophia rushed into the kitchen. I have an early briefing. I figured. She checked her phone. A smile crossed her face. Something funny? No. What is it? Just work. Her screen lit up again. I noticed Captain Ryan's name before she locked it. You've been talking with Ryan a lot. We work together. Even this early? It's important. More important than breakfast with me? She grabbed her bag. I don't have time for this. She left before I could answer. Over the next week, small things began bothering me. Every evening, her phone buzzed. Every morning, she smiled at messages. Every weekend, another meeting appeared. One afternoon, I asked, working again? Yes. With Ryan? She hesitated. Our whole unit. I didn't ask about the whole unit. She frowned. Why are you questioning me? I'm noticing changes. You're imagining problems. Am I? Yes. I wanted to believe her. Instead, doubt quietly settled inside me. 2 days later, I called her during lunch. She didn't answer. An hour passed. Then another. Finally, she sent a message. Busy. Talk later. That evening I heard laughter outside. I looked through the window. Ryan stood beside her car. She smiled brighter than she had smiled at me in weeks. I opened the front door. Ryan waved. Hey, Ethan. Good evening. I was just dropping off some files. Sophia quickly added, tomorrow's meeting. I nodded. Seems important. It is. Ryan stepped back. I should go. Drive safely, I said. He left. I looked at Sophia. You could have mentioned he was coming. It slipped my mind. So did my feelings. Ethan. What? You need to stop reading into everything. I hope you're right. She walked inside without replying. That night, sleep refused to come. Every conversation replayed inside my head. Every smile she gave Ryan felt sharper than before. My phone vibrated. Unknown number. I answered. Hello. Mr. Carter? Yes. It's Emily Ross. Oh, I hope I'm not disturbing you. No. I've been thinking about what happened. So have I. I have something you should see. What is it? Photos. From the ceremony? Yes. I'd rather forget that night. I understand. But these matter. Why? They show more than you noticed. My heart tightened. What do you mean? I've already sent them. I opened the message. Several photographs appeared. The first showed my empty front row seat before guests arrived. The second showed Ryan standing beside it. The third stopped me completely. Sophia was pointing toward the back rows while speaking to Ryan. She was smiling. Ryan nodded before taking my seat. The final picture showed me standing alone while both of them looked at each other. I closed my eyes. Emily spoke gently. I'm sorry. I thought it happened in the moment. It didn't. No. It was planned. It appears that way. I struggled to breathe evenly. Thank you for telling me. You deserve the truth. After ending the call, I sat in darkness. The photographs answered questions I never wanted answered. I could no longer pretend everything was a misunderstanding. Still, I refused to explode. I refused to accuse anyone without proof beyond suspicion. I whispered to myself, not yet. I placed my phone on the table. From that moment forward, I made one quiet decision. Instead of chasing revenge, I would watch. Instead of arguing, I would listen. Instead of trusting words, I would believe actions. Whatever truth hid behind the uniform would eventually reveal itself. And when it did, I would already be prepared. The morning after my decision, I packed one suitcase. Sophia walked into the bedroom. What are you doing? Packing. For what? I'm moving out. She stared at me. You're serious? Yes. You'd leave over one argument? It wasn't one argument. Then what? It was every moment I accepted less respect than I deserved. She crossed her arms. So you're giving up? No. I'm finally choosing myself. She laughed softly. I expected you to cool down. I already have. This is emotional. No. It's the calmest decision I've made in years. She looked at the suitcase. Where will you go? I found a small apartment. You planned this. I planned peace. She shook her head. You'll come back. I don't think so. She waited for me to say more. I didn't. She finally whispered, fine. I nodded once. Take care, Sophia. I closed the door behind me without looking back. My apartment was small. The furniture was old. The walls were plain. Still, I smiled. For the first time in months, the silence belonged to me. I unpacked slowly. My phone rang. Hello. Ethan, it's Emily. Hi. How are you? I've moved. You actually did it. I needed a fresh start. How do you feel? Lighter. Scared. A little. That's normal. I don't even know who I am outside my marriage. You'll find out. I hope so. You spent years supporting someone else's dream. I did. Now build your own. After ending the call, I opened an old storage box. Inside lay my engineering certificates. Dust covered the folders. I smiled sadly. I almost forgot you existed. The next day, I visited several companies. Most interviews ended politely. We'll contact you. We'll review your experience. We'll let you know. Days passed without replies. One afternoon, my phone rang again. Ethan? Mr. Lewis. How's the new place? Quiet. And your job search? Slow. I'd like you to meet someone. Who? A businessman. I'm listening. His name is Michael Grant. What does he do? He owns an engineering company. Why me? Because I told him your story. I don't want sympathy. He isn't offering sympathy. What then? A chance. I agreed. The following afternoon, I entered a modern office. A confident man greeted me. You must be Ethan. I am. I'm Michael Grant. It's nice to meet you. Please sit. I thanked him. He opened my resume. You have impressive experience. I haven't worked recently. I noticed. I supported my wife's career. Mr. Grant nodded. That explains the gap. I was worried it would hurt my chances. It tells me you're loyal. I was. He smiled slightly. Mr. Lewis speaks highly of you. He's been kind. He also says you solve problems instead of creating them. I try. Michael leaned forward. I need someone exactly like that. You haven't even tested my skills. I've already tested your character. His words surprised me. When can you start? I blinked. You're offering me the job? I am. What position? Project engineer. I'd be honored. Good. He extended his hand. Welcome aboard. I shook it firmly. Thank you. Walking outside, I felt something I had almost forgotten. Hope. Work became my routine. Every project demanded focus. Every challenge reminded me that I still had value. Emily often called after work. How's the new job? Busy. Happy. More than I expected. I'm glad. You've helped me more than you realize. I only reminded you who you were. You reminded me I still mattered. Meanwhile, Sophia began calling more often. The first call came during lunch. Why haven't you answered my messages? I've been working. You used to answer immediately. My schedule changed. We need to talk. I'm busy today. You've never been too busy for me. I've learned boundaries. She became quiet. You sound different. I am different. A week later, she visited my apartment unexpectedly. She looked around. This place is tiny. It fits my needs. You could come home. This is home. She frowned. You're being stubborn. I'm being peaceful. You don't even argue anymore. I don't need to. Don't you care? I care. Then fight for us. I fought for years. And now? I'm tired. She searched my face. I don't recognize you. I finally recognize myself. She left without another word. That evening, Emily called. How did it go? She expected the old version of me. What did she find? Someone who stopped begging. Emily laughed softly. I like this version. So do I. As weeks turned into months, I noticed something strange. The farther I walked from constant approval, the stronger I became. I no longer waited for Sophia's praise. I no longer feared her silence. I no longer measured my worth by her opinion. At work, Michael trusted my ideas. Mr. Lewis celebrated every small success. Emily encouraged every step forward. For the first time in years, people respected me without asking me to become someone else. One evening, my phone buzzed again. Sophia. I answered. What is it? Why won't you chase me anymore? Her question hung between us. I closed my eyes before answering, because I finally learned that love without respect is only another way to lose myself. She said nothing. Neither did I. The silence between us stretched longer than any argument we had ever shared, and I realized the greatest distance was no longer measured in miles, but in the broken trust neither of us knew how to cross anymore. 3 months changed my life more than the previous 3 years. Every morning I walked into Michael Grant's office with confidence instead of doubt. One afternoon, Michael smiled across the conference table. Ethan. Yes. The client approved your design. Seriously? They loved it. I laughed. That's incredible. You earned it. I wasn't sure I still had this in me. You never lost your talent. I almost believed I had. You only lost your confidence. His words stayed with me long after the meeting ended. That evening, Emily called. Busy engineer? Very funny. I heard someone received another successful project. Michael talks too much. He sounded proud. I think he is. You sound different. In a good way? In the best way. I smiled. I finally wake up excited again. I'm happy for you. So am I. After ending the call, I noticed several missed calls from Sophia. I answered the latest message instead. Everything okay? Her reply came almost immediately. Can we talk? I hesitated before calling. What happened? She sounded exhausted. Nothing. You don't sound fine. I'm just busy. With work. Yes. I waited. She finally whispered, things are complicated. What kind of things? I can't discuss them. I understand. She expected more questions. I asked none. She sighed. You've really changed. I told you that. She quietly ended the call. The next afternoon, Emily invited me for coffee. She looked unusually serious. Something's wrong. What happened? I've been investigating military promotions. I stayed silent. She continued. Captain Ryan's name keeps appearing. In what way? Favoritism. I frowned. Are you sure? I'm collecting evidence. I don't want to know confidential details. I know. I promised myself I wouldn't interfere. I'm not asking you to. She stirred her coffee slowly. I only wanted you prepared. For what? More truth. I nodded. I'll let the investigation speak. She smiled. That's wiser than revenge. A week later, my phone rang during lunch. It was Mr. Lewis. Ethan. Good afternoon. Have you seen today's news? No. Military headquarters announced an internal review. About what? They didn't say much. I see. But people are talking. About Ryan? Mostly. I thanked him and searched the headlines. The article mentioned anonymous complaints, unusual promotions, and possible abuse of authority. No names were officially confirmed. Still, I understood. That evening, Sophia called again. Ethan. Hello. You've heard the rumors. I've read the news. They're only rumors. I hope that's true. You don't believe me. I didn't say that. She sounded frustrated. Dad says people are trying to damage our family. What do you think? I think someone wants revenge. I answered honestly. I don't. She became quiet. You really aren't behind this? No. I expected you to be angry enough. I was. And now? I'm busy living my own life. She said nothing. For the first time, I sensed uncertainty in her voice. 2 days later, Emily called again. I need to tell you something. I'm listening. The military assigned an investigator. Who? Inspector Laura Bennett. Do you know her? Only professionally. What's she like? Very fair. Can she be influenced? Emily laughed softly. People have tried before. And they usually regret it. I nodded. That sounds promising. It means facts will matter. Good. I thought you'd say that. The following weekend, I met Mr. Lewis at the park. We watched children play while drinking coffee. He asked quietly, how's your heart? Healing. And Sophia? I still care. That's honest. I don't hate her. You don't need to. But I can't ignore what happened. You shouldn't. He looked toward the trees. Love survives many storms. I know. Respect doesn't. His words echoed inside me. Later that evening, Michael invited me to dinner with several company executives. Halfway through the meal, my phone vibrated. Sophia. I excused myself and answered outside. What happened? She sounded shaken. Dad met with senior officials. Why? To explain everything. Did it help? No. What happened? Now people think he interfered. I closed my eyes. I'm sorry. Are you? Yes. You should be happy. I'm not. You have every reason. I never wanted this. She breathed slowly. I don't know who to trust anymore. I answered quietly. Trust the truth. What if the truth destroys everything? Then pretending won't save it. She didn't respond. Before hanging up, she whispered, I miss the way we used to talk. So do I. The call ended. I stood outside the restaurant for several minutes. Part of me wanted to run to her. Part of me remembered standing alone in that crowded hall. Remembered my empty chair. Remembered her saying another man was more important. Those memories refused to disappear. The investigation grew larger with every passing week. New articles appeared. More anonymous sources came forward. General Hayes defended his daughter publicly. Instead of calming the situation, his statements created even more questions. Emily never revealed confidential information. She only said, the story is growing. I always gave the same answer. I won't be part of it. You already are. No. Why do you say that? Because sometimes doing nothing is exactly what allows karma to work. That night, I stood beside my apartment window, watching rain slide across the glass. I still loved the woman I had married. I couldn't deny it, but I finally understood another truth that hurt even more. Love could survive disappointment. Love could survive distance. Love could even survive betrayal. Respect could not. Once dignity died, every promise built upon it slowly died too, and no amount of longing could bring either one back. The investigation became impossible to ignore. Every news report carried another update. Every headline revealed another crack in the image everyone once believed. I refused interviews. I refused public comments. I focused on work until my phone rang one quiet morning. Mr. Ethan Carter? Speaking. My name is James Walker. How can I help you? I'm the military prosecutor assigned to the investigation. I remained silent. We would like your testimony. My testimony? Regarding the ceremony several months ago. I understand. You are not accused of anything. I know. We only want the truth. You'll have it. Can you attend Friday morning? I'll be there. After ending the call, I sat quietly. Emily called minutes later. I heard. News travels fast. It does. Should I be worried? No. Then why am I nervous? Because telling the truth matters. I don't want revenge. I know. That's what scares me. She laughed gently. The truth doesn't need anger to be powerful. Friday arrived sooner than expected. The hearing room felt smaller than I imagined. Several officers waited outside. Some recognized me. None spoke. Inside, I saw Sophia. She looked exhausted. Dark circles surrounded her eyes. She looked at me. Ethan. Hello. I didn't know they'd call you. They asked. You came. Yes. She lowered her voice. I'm sorry. For what? For everything. I searched her face. I appreciate hearing that. She looked relieved. Before she could continue, another voice interrupted. Mr. Carter? I turned. A man in a dark suit extended his hand. James Walker. It's nice to meet you. Thank you for coming. I promised the truth. That's all we need. The hearing began. Several witnesses spoke before me. One officer said, Captain Ryan influenced promotions. Another testified, people feared questioning him. A third added, complaints disappeared after reaching senior leadership. The room remained silent after each statement. Then Ryan stood. I've done nothing wrong. James Walker asked calmly. Can you explain these messages? They're taken out of context. What context? They were private conversations. About official promotions. Ryan hesitated. I don't remember. The prosecutor placed more documents before him. Do you remember these? Ryan looked away. No further questions, James said. Sophia testified next. She answered carefully. I followed orders. James nodded. Did you ever recommend Captain Ryan for assignments? Yes. Based on merit? Yes. He held up printed messages. These messages suggest personal favoritism. She looked shaken. Take your time. I believed he deserved opportunities, even over more qualified officers. I didn't review every record. Did you question any recommendations? She stayed silent. James repeated, Did you? No. Why not? I trusted him. The answer echoed across the room. I closed my eyes briefly. That trust had cost all of us. General Hayes appeared afterward. His posture remained proud. James asked, Did you contact officials during this investigation? I requested fairness. Did you pressure anyone? No. James presented phone records. These calls suggest otherwise. They were professional conversations. Were complaints discussed? I don't recall. James calmly replied, The records do. The room filled with whispers. For the first time, the general looked uncertain. Then my name was called, Mr. Ethan Carter. I walked forward. My hands remained steady. James smiled politely. Please state your name. Ethan Carter. Were you present during the military celebration honoring Officer Sophia Carter? Yes. Why were you there? I attended as her husband. Were you assigned a reserved seat? Yes. What happened? My seat was given to Captain Ryan. How did you respond? I politely asked why. Did you raise your voice? No. Did you insult anyone? No. Did you create a disturbance? No. What happened next? Sophia told me Ryan was more important. The room became completely still. James asked softly, "How did that make you feel?" I answered honestly, "Heartbroken." He nodded. "What happened after that?" General Hayes publicly criticized me. "Did he ask for your explanation first?" "No." "Did you insult him?" "No." "Did you threaten anyone?" "No." "What did you do?" I stayed quiet. James looked at me for several seconds. "Why?" "Because arguing wouldn't restore respect." Silence followed. James finally asked one last question. "Mr. Carter, are you here seeking revenge?" I looked around the room. Ryan avoided my eyes. Sophia stared at the table. General Hayes remained motionless. I answered carefully, "No." "Then why are you here?" "Because truth deserves a voice." James nodded. No further questions. As I stood to leave, one board member spoke. "Mr. Carter, yes, you've shown remarkable restraint." I smiled faintly. I learned anger cannot change the past. What can? Honesty. After the hearing ended, Sophia caught up with me outside. "Ethan." I stopped walking. "I expected you to attack me." "I didn't." "You could have." I only answered questions. Tears filled her eyes. "You never lied." "I never needed to." She covered her face. "I've ruined everything." I wanted to comfort her. Instead, I quietly said, "Your choices brought you here." She nodded slowly. "I know." General Hayes stepped outside moments later. He looked older than I remembered. He met my eyes but said nothing. For the first time since I had known him, he had no speech, no command, and no authority left to hide behind. Neither he nor Sophia nor Ryan controlled what happened next. The truth belonged to everyone now. As I walked toward my car, I realized something unexpected. Winning had never been watching them fall. Winning was standing before the people who once judged me, speaking without hatred, leaving without fear, and knowing my dignity had survived everything they had done to break it. A week after the hearing, the official decision became public. Sophia lost her command. Captain Ryan faced dismissal. General Hayes announced his retirement. I read the news quietly before leaving for work. My phone rang. It was Emily. "You've seen it?" "I have." "How do you feel?" I expected relief. "And I mostly feel tired." "That's normal." I waited so long for justice. Sometimes justice arrives without celebration. "I think you're right." She paused. "Will you meet me later?" "Of course." That evening we sat beside the river. Emily handed me a coffee. "You've been quiet." "I'm thinking." "About Sophia?" "About everything." She nodded. "You still love her." "I wish I didn't." "Loving someone isn't the same as trusting them." "I know." "You don't have to choose today." Her words eased something inside me. The next morning Sophia called. "Ethan." "Hello. Can we meet?" I hesitated. "All right." We met in a small park. She looked different. No uniform. No medals. No confidence. Only exhaustion. She spoke first. "I lost everything." I answered gently. "I heard. They removed my position." "I'm sorry." "You don't have to pretend." "I'm not pretending." She looked surprised. "I thought you'd be happy." "I never wanted your life destroyed." "I destroyed it myself." Neither of us spoke for several moments. Finally she whispered, "Ryan testified against me." I frowned. "What happened?" "He blamed me for everything." "He did." "He said I made every decision." I sighed quietly. "So he saved himself." "He tried." "You trusted him." "I know." "He abandoned you." She nodded slowly. "I defended him." "I remember." "He didn't defend me." The pain in her voice sounded real. "I'm sorry. I should have listened to you. I wanted honesty." "You deserved it." She wiped away tears. "I confused loyalty with blindness." I stayed silent. "I confused pride with strength." She looked directly into my eyes. "And I confused public image with honor." Those words hurt because they were true. "I'm sorry, Ethan." "I believe you." "Can you forgive me?" I closed my eyes. So much happened. "I know. I've carried those memories every day." "I have too." "I don't hate you." Her shoulders relaxed. But forgiveness and rebuilding aren't the same." She lowered her head. I understand. I'm still healing. I know. She nodded. I'll accept whatever you decide. Before leaving, she quietly said, Thank you for listening. That afternoon, Michael invited me into his office. You seemed distracted. I met Sophia. How did it go? She apologized, and I believed her. That's important. I still don't know what to do. Michael folded his hands. Let me ask something. I'm listening. If someone breaks a bridge, can you forgive them? Yes. Would you immediately drive across it again? I smiled sadly. No. Why? Because it isn't safe. He nodded. Exactly. His simple words stayed with me. Later that evening, Mr. Lewis visited my apartment. He noticed my expression immediately. Heavy thoughts? You could say that. He smiled. Tell me. I explained everything. When I finished, he remained quiet. Finally, he asked, What does forgiveness mean to you? I don't know anymore. It isn't forgetting. I know. It isn't pretending nothing happened. I know. It isn't returning to pain. I looked at him. Then what is it? It's putting down the weight so it no longer controls your life. I breathed deeply. That sounds peaceful. It is, but difficult. The best things usually are. The next day, my phone rang again. The caller surprised me. General Hayes. I answered. General. Ethan. His voice lacked its usual confidence. May we meet? All right. We met outside a quiet memorial garden. He stood waiting. When I approached, he saluted me instead of speaking. I looked at him in surprise. You don't need to do that. Yes, I do. He lowered his hand. I judged you without listening. I remained silent. I defended power instead of fairness. He looked away. I failed as a father. You loved your daughter. I protected her pride instead of her character. His voice trembled. I humiliated an innocent man. I answered honestly. You hurt me deeply. I know. I'm sorry. The apology sounded sincere. I accept it. You do. I won't carry bitterness forever. He closed his eyes briefly. Thank you. As he walked away, I realized age had finally caught him. Not in his body. In his regrets. That night, Emily called. How are you? I think I finally understand something. What? I can forgive without going back. She smiled through the phone. I hoped you discover that. I kept believing forgiveness meant restoring everything. It doesn't. It only means refusing to let yesterday control tomorrow. Exactly. I stood beside my window, watching the city lights. The memories still hurt. The empty chair. The public insults. The broken promises. None of them disappeared. Yet they no longer owned me. I whispered into the quiet room. I forgive all of you. The words felt surprisingly light. They did not erase the past. They simply opened the door to a future no longer chained to it. And for the first time since that terrible ceremony, I believe my heart could finally walk forward without looking back. The divorce hearing lasted less than an hour. The judge reviewed the documents before looking at both of us. Do you agree to these terms? I do. I answered. Sophia nodded. I do. The judge signed the final page. This marriage is legally dissolved. I quietly thanked him. Outside the courthouse, Sophia stopped beside me. So, she smiled sadly. I never imagined our story ending here. Neither did I. I wish I had understood sooner. I know. I won't ask you to come back. Thank you. I only wanted one last chance to say I'm sorry. You already did. I mean it even more today. I believe you. She took a slow breath. I hope you find happiness. I hope you do too. She extended her hand. Instead, I gently hugged her. She cried quietly. So this is goodbye. It is. She stepped away. Take care, Ethan. You too, Sophia. We walked in opposite directions without looking back. Months passed peacefully. Michael called me into his office one afternoon. Ethan. Yes. I have good news. I'm listening. We're opening another engineering division. That's amazing. I want you to lead it. I stared at him. Really? You earned this. I don't know what to say. Say yes. I laughed. Yes. He shook my hand firmly. I knew you would. Leading the new division brought unexpected responsibilities. Young engineers often visited my office with questions. One nervous employee knocked on my door. "Do you have a minute? Come in. I'm afraid I'll fail." I smiled. "I've felt that. You have. More times than you think." "What changed?" "I stopped asking whether everyone believed in me. And I started believing in myself." He smiled. I needed to hear that. Then remember it. Week after week, more employees sought advice. I always shared the same lesson. Never trade your dignity for someone's approval. Emily teased me about it one evening. "So now you're everyone's mentor?" "I don't know about that. You've become the person you once needed." I smiled. "Maybe." She laughed. "I know." Our friendship grew naturally. There were no games, no hidden motives, only honest conversations. One evening she asked, "Can I tell you something?" "Always. I've cared about you for a long time." I looked at her. "I've been afraid to admit that." "You don't have to be afraid." "What about you?" I smiled. "I've been walking slowly because I wanted to heal first. And now, I'm ready to stop walking alone." She reached for my hand. "I'm glad." "So am I." Nothing between us felt rushed. Every step rested on trust instead of appearances. That made all the difference. One afternoon, I visited Mr. Lewis. He smiled the moment he saw me. "You look peaceful." "I finally am." "I knew you'd get here." "You helped." "I only reminded you who you already were." I laughed. "You keep saying that." "Because it's true." We spent hours talking about life. Before leaving, he said, "Never forget the lesson." "I won't." Across town, life continued changing for everyone. I occasionally heard updates. General Hayes retired quietly. He stayed away from public events. People said he spent most of his time visiting veterans and writing letters to military families. Sophia began volunteering at community centers. Instead of defending herself, she accepted responsibility. One afternoon she called. "I wanted you to know something." "I'm listening." "I'm helping military families adjust after deployment." "That's meaningful work." "I finally understand service." "I'm glad." It took losing everything. Sometimes painful lessons last longest. She agreed. "They do." Before ending the call, she said, "Thank you for forgiving me." I answered honestly. Forgiveness helped both of us. Life moved forward without bitterness. One evening, Emily and I attended a charity banquet. As we entered the hall, an usher smiled. "Mr. Carter?" "Yes. Your reserved seat is right here." He pointed toward the front row. I looked at the chair for several seconds. Emily noticed. "What are you thinking?" I smiled quietly. I used to believe a seat could define my worth. And now I know better. We sat together. The ceremony began. People applauded speakers. Music filled the room. I listened peacefully. No anger returned. No painful memories controlled me. Only gratitude remained. On the drive home, Emily asked, "If you could change the past, would you?" I thought carefully before answering. "No. Really, if I had never lost that seat, I might never have found myself." She squeezed my hand. "I like that answer." "So do I." I looked through the windshield as city lights stretched across the night. Years earlier, I believe my greatest loss happened when my wife gave my reserved chair to another man. I was wrong. That chair had never been the true loss. It simply revealed everything I had been willing to lose before that moment. My dignity, my confidence, my voice, my self-worth. Walking away forced me to rebuild each piece with my own hands. Justice arrived without revenge. Healing arrived without forgetting. Forgiveness arrived without returning. Love eventually returned because honesty finally had room to grow. Looking back, I no longer remembered the chair with pain. I remembered it with gratitude. It became the moment my old life ended and my real life began. In the end, I never won because others fell. I won because I finally stood tall without needing anyone's permission. And that quiet victory became the greatest honor I had ever received.